Good morning and welcome to the program Beyond the News here on the Nation Online TV. My name is Yewande Fasan, and with me is my guest and analyst, Dr. Emmanuel Oladesu. How are you today, sir? Good to have you here.
My pleasure. Good morning.
Good morning. You look amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
I mean,
You
as
too.
always.
You too. Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Without wasting much of our time, let's run down what we have for you today, starting with the nation. And first, we'll take the headlines. And the above the nameplate here says, how government policies reshaped forex transactions. Why Labour Party won't go into coalition by OT. I will produce my successor in Oyo State, Makinde boasts. ISWAP's second in command killed in massive attack. The major headline reads, how coup attempt was foiled at planning stage. This is coming from General Musa. Crossing to the Punch newspaper. I was marked for arrest and assassination. This is also coming from the defense minister. Taking it further, it says DHQ faces it as military personnel bypass airport checks. Health workers strike ground hospital. The major headline here says presidency spends 34 billion naira on forex in 2 years. New Telegraph. Electronic money transfer levy 106% to 440.32 billion naira in 2025. Military officers smuggle arms on board aircraft, threaten airlines and airport staff. So those are the headlines we'll be taking today. But digging in, we'll take just few out of it where my analysts will, take us through, some of the stories. Again, the nation as the first analysis of the day. It says our coup attempt was foiled at planning stage. And the leader says a joint monitoring approach enabled the armed forces to foil a planned coup. The defense minister, General Christopher Musa, said. According to him, a disgruntled colonel who failed his examination for promotion to the rank of brigadier general initiated the plot and dragged others into it. Salah de Sousa, if you read further, it says that there was this brief, so to say, last year that there was going to be a coup, but it was not established. And if you read further again, the defense minister said that this happened last month, but they just came out, to make all of this, in public that they've made arrest and investigation is underway. I don't know how this is, how this came about, and how is it possible that we as a country, I mean, anything is possible, but why is it that a coup is still being, planned, and why is that even necessary? Because I believe we should have moved past it.
After 26 years of civil rule,
Mm.
stability, and continuity, we believe that no attempt should be made to liquidate civil rule, to liquidate democracy. What we should be angling for is consolidation, other gains of democratic stability, that continuity, the opportunities, benefits offers to citizens who are a rebellion to the democratic order. The military is not a political party. The work of the military to defend the territorial integrity of the nation from external aggression. Who, in our time, is old fashioned, is outdated.
It's gone into
Military
extinction.
soldiers cannot come up again to parade themselves as modernizers. That was how they cajoled the generation before us in the 50s, in the 60s, in Africa, starting from Egypt, I think, then Sudan, then to Nigeria, when that critical mistake was made in 1966 and the democratic order was stabilized, democracy was crippled, and they came to force on us a unitary system instead of the federal system we used to know. And they came to complain against the corruption of civilians. But when they were departing, they left worst legacy of graft, of steal and go, legacy of monumental corruption. So who is old-fashioned? We should not even hear about it again. After our past experience, which was not palatable, and after putting the back before us, are now working hard to stabilize this polity, to renewal of our subscription to democracy. Now, when there is coup, it's about bloodletting. Both civilians and military authorities are affected.
Everybody.
The Minister of Defense, who was Chief of Defense Staff, was saying that it was a target. They have killed so many people. Look at their first attempt in 1966. Look at the monumental havoc they wreak on the Federation. They killed the brightest minds in their own in their own class. The military, the likes of Kor Mohammed, perhaps then the distinguished medical doctor, Mai Malere, Ademulegu, and the wife who was 8 months pregnant. Then they killed the prime minister, they killed the premier, they killed the minister of defense, and at the end of the day, it was discovered that the coup was even one-sided. And in the week, they left that division, ethnic division, religious division. So coup is outdated, and it is not what any African country should pray for, because the military cannot preside over society, the way the civilians are expected to preside over civilians. Zik has, in 1970 at a symposium in Lagos, he said, to whom are they accountable? To whom are they responsible? You take when the first military regime on us, then we are caged. Human rights to cease, freedom of assembly, freedom of association. It's like back to square one. The officers who are involved in the coup, they know the implication. If they succeed, maybe some parts of the country there will be jubilation. But since they failed, the repercussion can better be imagined. But it's left to the Army Council to do the necessary thing at the tribunal. But the political authority will now sanction whatever judgment the tribunal may pass on them.
But if you read for the first minister said that even if this happened, Nigerians, or rather Nigerians, would have resisted it, and the coup itself is impossible. And my question is, the people apprehended. Like if you're reading the story, it's an ex-officer, so to say, who was due for promotion but did not, pass his examination, his promotional examination, and thereafter he, began to initiate this coup and all of that. Would you say that there is lack of unity in the military system? Because I mean, this is supposed to be your member.
Rather, it is lack of discipline.
Lack of discipline.
Yes. If you fail a promotional exam, there will be opportunity for you to resit for the exam and pass. Ego may be momentarily deflated, but it's not the end of the world. Many of us didn't make our GCE at one city.
Mm.
We went back and we read and we passed. So it is not the end of life if you fail a promotional examination.
Mm.
What you should do is to go back, then prepare well, be responsible, be diligent,
Then come back
and
bigger and
then
better.
not because of that you now want to wreak havoc
Mm.
on the entire country. After more than 26 years of political stability, continuity, when we are now trying to say that, well, we should consolidate on the gains of democracy, and some rascals in the military now want to upset the system and take us back to the mistake of 1960s. Worrisome.
Very worrisome. Well, taking it away from the coup, issue, let's talk about Oyo State. Speaking of the, current governor, person of Shane Makinde. And it says here, my team will continue where I stop in 2027, says Makinde. The leader says Oyo State Governor Shane Makinde has said that while his tenure will end in May 2027, members of his team, with whom he has delivered good governance, are determined to continue his good programs. Makinde, who noted that his administration would continue to govern the state in accordance with the will and guidance of God, said his administration had built strong foundations for the state as it entered its next phase. Again, if you read further, you will see where he said that he claimed to have no godfather in the political system, and people said, "Oh, what? How about people you spoke to canvass, for votes when you needed it?" He said that canvassing for votes does not necessarily mean that they are my godfathers. How would you, you know, um, talk about this issue? And again, if you read further again the story, it says how that is confident that his successor, because he would provide a successor. I mean, people of Oyo State have said Makinde had done incredibly well in the state, and now handing over to another person of whom he is well pleased, will take over. How well do you think this would go, and do you think it would be easy to pull this off in Oyo State?
Thank you. Two issues:
Mm,
succession and godfatherism. Let's
right.
take godfatherism. And there's nobody who will emerge in the polity as this or that, who will not be helped by individuals, groups, and organizations.
Mm,
And within the context of the definition of godfatherism, there is godfathers.
mm,
Yes, when in the 40s, when Awolowo was putting the idea of political party, he ran to traditional rulers and opinion leaders, community leaders, the aristocrats of those days, the elite, and organized them into Egbomududua. Many of them were older than him.
mm,
Akane Duati, Maja, the likes of senior colleagues in NYM, Ufo Abayomi. He organized them to groups, and then they later more or less transmuted into this party. So his godfathers. And when he became leader too, he started mentoring some people,
mm.
became a role model to many of them. They sought elective offices, they were successful. I too became their godfather. So when you are coming afresh into the political system, a greenhorn, some people have to pave the way for you. They help assist you in doing the spade work, ground
Mm,
work.
mm.
They will assist you with their
Resources.
experience,
Mhm,
with their knowledge, with their network, with their contacts,
mm.
and their resources. They become your godfathers.
Okay.
Now, it's for somebody to now say that he doesn't have godfather,
Mm,
it's like not telling the whole truth. But the aspect of godfatherism he has alluded to is that some godfathers, after installing or helping people to get to power, they now be making demand which are overbearing, and they may now
they
become
practically make
high-handed. Yes,
decisions for you.
but there's nobody. doesn't have a godfather. Somebody who helps you to secure employment may as well be described as your godfather, somebody you look up to.
Mm.
So that is godfatherism. The second is succession, and we are in electioneering.
Mm-hmm.
There must be succession because, according to the constitution, there are limits.
Mm.
You do first term, you do second term, then you have to go. And that's why people should know that power is transient
Mm.
and no condition will be permanent. So, Fisher, an eminent political scientist, propounded the theory of democratic succession. And he stated that the outgoing railway executive could not be expected to be indifferent to the nature, the tendency, and idiosyncrasies of his would-be successor. It's natural. Even those who are monarchs, whenever they are advancing in years, they start to spot some people are likely to be their successor. The late Oni of Ife was able to spot Okunade Shijuade and ask him to come to the palace and repair the palace.
Mm.
Succession. The Eleko who died, Kábíyèsí Ọba Adéyínká Oyèkán, spotted two people and brought them closer. Aremu Akeolu and Tajudeen Olusi. One of them eventually succeeded him, even in family business. You see a business cycle when you grow, you diminish in strength. You'll be spotting maybe an associate and a younger associate, or a son or a daughter. They will be grooming. It's natural that you groom successors. And so it's not new. And the objective in political setting are twofold. People look for successors in their own image for two cardinal aims, two cardinal objectives. The first is the preservation of their legacies. Maybe they have done well, they have fulfilled their campaign promises, and they want somebody who will build on their feats, on their achievements. Therefore, they look for a competent, a capable person. Like Tinubu has done in Lagos when he was growing, look out for a competent young man, a lawyer who was his chief of staff, Babatunde Fashola. He called him a son with a sound mind and
Right.
worked assiduously to make him a governor.
Take
I'm
over.
not done. I'm not done.
Mm.
So, in Oyo, he is at liberty to look for a successor who will succeed him. Now, as the holder of the PDP governorship ticket.
Mm.
But there are many political parties in Oyo. The second is for cover up. Apart from preservation of legacies, the second objective is just for cover up. That I'm going, then I should put somebody in my own image who will be able to tidy some things up. That too is understandable in politics. In Oyo, however, the governor has done well. People believe that he has done well, and then is entitled to look for a successor. Other parties are not sleeping on guard too. They convert the state house into wants somebody in their rank to be governor. So it will be a big battle between the candidate of the governor of Oyo and the candidate the APC will put down for the election. At the time, the governor of Oyo gave a hint about the qualifications he expects, the qualities he expects from his would-be successor. He said they should be below 60. That to me is ceiling, career ceiling. And that to me too appears to be a demonstration of a shortfall in inclusion. Because the constitution says any citizen freeborn, either from age 30 to 100 above, can be governor. But he said he would prefer somebody who is below, maybe below 50 or below 60. That will raise a question, critical question about inclusion. Or your politics will not be easy. The succession battle will be tough. It will be fiercely fought between the candidate, the PDP, and the APC may pull down for next year's election.
Hmm. Okay, now if you there's another story here, how that Oti is saying. Okay, let me take it from page 5 here, that says why LP, that's Labour Party, is not in any coalition against Tinubu. It says Abia State Governor Alex Oti yesterday ruled out any coalition talks between Labour Party and the African Democratic Congress (ADC) for the purpose of outing the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) from power in next year's poll. It said LPs contended with the natural and structural coalition with the workers and the masses who retain progressive values. And my question is, with or without the coalition, Dr. Oladesu, do you think that, I mean, of course, there'll be contenders for next year's election. In fact, a lot of contenders, especially for the general elections coming up. Now, do you think that APC and other people, with the coalition or not, are enough to conquer the current administration? With the way the like people have been defecting here and there, and more people might still defect, even from APC to another party, or from another party to APC, and the Labour Party, the ADC, this whole braha going on.
I prefer to make two statements.
Please do.
Coalition to be built on ideology, similarity of ideas.
Okay.
Not just for the purpose of fighting for power, not just for the purpose of attacking the ruling party, maybe to oust the ruling party and get power. It should be funded on similarity of ideas. I see people coming together to form coalition, and I don't see the similarity of ideas. And therefore, a critical condition is breached in party formation, because there are three characteristics of a political party. First is ideology. Second is organization. The third is leadership. And they have linkages. It's the ideology that will shape the structure, that will shape the organization. And the symbol of that ideology should be the leadership. So when the parties come together and they are now funded on ideology, similarity of ideas, they just want to get a vehicle that will take them to power. On what condition? This is. The second statement I want to make is that the type of coalition they are seeking for underscore again a critical defect that they are anxious, they are not in comfortable position, they are afraid, they lack strength, and they are now looking for all men and women of who they know do not share the ideas they represent, but just to make up for a crowd.
Like what common,
that type of platform cannot endure. So there's a gap. It's defective because they are just coming together as a rainbow coalition, but not sustained by any cogent idea that will make people to now see these people, this camp, this gang up as a meaningful coalition. And now coming to Labour. Obi, because he's a central figure in this entire controversy, Obi is not known to be somebody who can build a party, but he will always stay in one corner to reap from the benefit of a party that has been built. The Jetison Abga, the legacy of their leader, Ojukwu, after he contested on that platform and spent 8 years in office as governor, he could not stay on in the party to build the party. He defected conveniently to PDP, where he became a running mate. And when he was not picked for a running mate, picked as a running mate in the next electoral season, he defected from PDP, went to Labour. Now, that kind of a man, a serial defector, can he be really trusted? So he has now gone back to the PDP, which I believe the ADC represents. ADC is a split half of PDP. And then he left Labour. And now, when he was going to ADC, he didn't discuss fully with his people in Labour. He could not take all of them to ADC. Now he got to ADC and now mounting pressure. People should ask questions. And the question is, if you are in the position of Oladesu, would you like to follow that type of a person? And the question Oladesu is trying to ask is what I've highlighted. Which idea? Which ideology? What will be the motivation for Labour now to join ADC? They are two different entities. Labour was formed primarily to advance the cause of workers and the masses. Now, is ADC in that form? Leaders of ADC were in PDP, the party that pillaged the treasury, that ruled the country for 16 years, and there is no meaningful result. Therefore, it would be foolish of the remnants in Labour to now gravitate towards ADC because there's no connecting idea, no similarity of thought, no similarity of belief. And that is the point the governor of Abia is trying to make. Labour can be rebuilt. If it is not a party of now, it can be a party of the. There is not even necessary that, because we must emphasize this point. In looking for power, if you get power at sub-regional level on the platform of a party, you can use it to advance the cause of the people in the area. Not that you should necessarily go to Abuja. This is a federation. So I believe that OT is in order. He's not trying to gravitate towards the side, towards the direction of ADC because there's no similarity of ideas, beliefs, and aspiration. The main purpose of floating ADC is to realize the ambition of Vice President Atiku Abubakar. And so there is a predetermined agenda. And so when you know that, and you are not party to that, you now go and add your structure to their structure to realize the ambition, predetermined ambition of a man, and who did not discuss with you, who did not consult you at the onset.
Well, we would see, because I mean the year is still really very young, and by the way, it's a new month. Like, this is the second month in the year 2026, and this is the year that we'll be hearing or seeing a lot in the political system, in the political space. Ahead of 2027 general elections. And I would like to ask, what are your expectations for the year 2020 in respect to the election and everything? Are you looking for, like they would say, a vast dose in the year 2026, or you think it's just going to be peaceful, calm while we approach the year 2027?
We're in the electioneering already.
Yes.
And the people who brought us to this early electioneering stage are the people in the opposition who people right from 2023 have been blackmailing and criticizing the president. And these people did not allow the polity to demarcate between politics and governance.
Mm.
They were the people who have indulged in a campaign of calumny against the president. And before his party started responding, and then they now push us to this election here. Politics is complex. Apadurai, a political scientist, A.A. Apadurai, posited that individuals will grow personally and politically through competition and antagonism. And the very nature and character of politics is there's contest between or among people over who should control the affairs of it. And Awolowo said the ultimate goal of politics is the attainment of power. But when you look at that dimension of antagonism, strife, rancor, they fall within the framework of politics or within the character of politics. Well, it will be nomination will be party based. So there will be nomination orders. As we have said, mass boosts. It may occur in some political parties that are not well guided, political parties that lack firm leadership.
They're not well grounded.
It may also occur in any political party, but the onus is on the leadership to set up a reconciliation mechanism, conflict resolution mechanism that can name the crisis in the board before escalation. So at each election period, there will be a lot of upheavals within because of the contest for the ticket first before the next election. And after getting the ticket, there will be campaign. And when there's campaign, you see. About one beauty, one advantage is that during campaign, you see, attention will now be focused on succession, on who will win. And when you look at it, during those periods, there will be, apart from lack of peace among political class, there will be some peace in society.
Right.
Yes, though the political parties may be in turmoil, but there will be some peace in society because spectators will be created. Then the only disadvantage is that those in government, those in power will be distracted and they may not pay attention to day-to-day governance again because they will be involved in the campaigns, travelings, and then permutations, political meetings. That's the only disadvantage. That's why you say that the outgoing ruling executive may now become lame duck and people may not really expect much from him or her. But we are talking about the space of 9 months, which is still a long time. So these are the issues. But generally,
which part of the election area are you looking forward to?
All.
Everything.
And this time, as we move forward, we have a new kind next chairman who will start receiving his baptism of fire. This is his first attempt. Though he will be conducting some preliminary elections, supplementary elections, then off-circuit governorship elections in Ekiti and Osun. Then by the time we have done that, we have gathered experience that will strengthen him
ahead of the general elections
to now prepare better for next year's layers of elections.
Well, we all look forward to the election process and also the final result of the election, and let's just hope that we don't turn the country or the political parties do not turn the country into something that we do not understand, because everyone is vying for a particular position. Everyone wants to win, but again they say may the best man win. And as Nigerians, definitely we want the best man for us. And for every state, they all want the best man for their state. So I will just wrap up with that. We'll just again we look forward to the process and also pray for whoever it is that will take up. I mean, it's not very far again. Or would you say it's far?
Well, it's nearer than we imagine.
Because it's just
I
next year.
said the electioneering has started,
Yeah.
but those who push us to this early electioneering period are the people in the opposition. And well, we can make some predictions,
Mm.
though it will not be scientific enough because the
Well, people have been
law,
making the predictions already,
the
though.
law of political behavior cannot be easily formulated, and
Mm.
the political field, as I always say, is slippery.
Mm.
But one thing is this: one thing is certain. We have a political party, firm, always enlarging its coast,
Mm-hmm.
highly formidable, with a virile leadership,
Right.
committed followership, fanatical
Mm.
followership. I mean the ruling party, the All Progressive Congress.
I mean,
And the government is performing.
mm.
Now, the government has been able to fulfill its campaign promises. The government is being hailed by agencies abroad,
Mm.
including IMF, World Bank. The economy is being reshaped
Mm.
across the sectors. Novel things are being done,
Right.
whether in education, in health, in agriculture, and infrastructural development is not taking the back seat.
Mm.
And you know the wonders they are performing in the Federal Capital Territory, in Abuja.
Mm.
If all of the above are going to be taken to consideration by voters, then we can make some predictions
Mm.
that if the election takes place today, there may not be change of that.
Mm.
Again, when you look at the polity, we have 36 governors and 29 already in APC. And these are the people who take charge in the subnational unit.
Mm.
Then don't you believe that morning, what happens in the morning will predict the day. But like I said, you can't make full predictions,
Mm.
but it will appear that the ruling party is on course, enlarging its coast,
Mm.
and is learning, is trying not to commit the mistakes of the past, the mistake that PDP made that led Nigerians to vote it out of power.
Mm.
So there are a lot of permutations, and we are building scenarios